so today I have another Halloween look for you guys, and I'm really excited about this one. I've been wanting to put together a kind of vampire look for a while, and I kept on putting these looks together, but none of them really seemed to work. I would do it halfway, like I would start on one eye, and then I didn't like how it was turning out, and I just take it off and say I can't do it, I'll try again tomorrow. And I did it about 3 times, so this is the third one that actually I think is really cool. And so I'm kind of calling this like my glam kind of rocker vampire look, because I think it's a little bit punky almost, and I think it's a perfect, really awesome vampire look. Especially just this because it's not your plain like dark black smoky eye with, or maybe like a dark gray smoky eye with the dark lips and like no blush or anything like that, the pale face. I think this takes it up a notch a little bit. I don't know, I just thought I thought this would look really cool if I did the red underneath with like, if I did like that tape line, you know, when you use tape and it creates this very defined straight line. So I just wanted something that was kind of edgy and really cool, and then these awesome dark glossy lips. So I think this is just like the perfect, like even if you wanted to be like a punk rock chick or something like that for Halloween, I think this is a great fun look. You can use a different color underneath, but I think red looks really good for a vampire because it's like vampire's like blood, so why not? This makes me want to be a vampire for Halloween just so I can wear this look out like at a party or something. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look, and I hope you want to do it for your Halloween costume. So I will see you later. Bye guys. The look on this eye, so I'm just gonna do the next eye now, and I've already primed it. And make sure you're not wearing any foundation or powder on your face before you start, because we are going to be using tape, and that's going to take off any of the face makeup you have on. So just make sure your eye is all primed. I got all of my eye primer on. I used the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. So now just take any tape. You can just take regular Scotch tape, anything you've got, and just take a longish piece, and first you're going to put it on your hand, so that this way it's going to get some excess skin and it's going to be a little bit easier to take off. And now we're going to line it against our eye, and we want it kind of going off. We don't really want it to connect with the eyebrow, we want it just kind of going off. So make sure you're not getting it in any lashes. Make sure the angle is pretty symmetrical, and set it down. This will be a little tricky, especially because sometimes you will catch your lashes, so I might have to go back over a few times. So I don't want to get any of my eyelashes stuck in there. Okay, that seems to be good. The first thing you're going to do once you have that tape done, the first bit of color, we're going to be using, you want to use a dark base. I'm using the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in dark brown, and this is just a really dark brown color. I didn't want to use black because I think black kind of takes some of the color out of it. Just going to get this all over the lid right here, and then also bring it out a bit. So kind of draw it like it's in a little wing shape, and then you just want to go in and blend that out with your finger, or blend it in actually. Okay, so now you got all that smudged in. Got that little wing kind of happening there. So all the eyeshadows I'm going to be working with today are going to be from the BH Cosmetics 88 Colors palette in matte. I just have, this is like, I got this so long ago, and I actually don't use it that much, but I think it's really great for doing tutorials like these because it has so much color variety. So first I'm going to take this fluffy crease brush, and I'm going to put it into a nude color. So I'm going to take this one right up here, just kind of like a nude brown color, I don't know. It's kind of like a darkish brown, like it's like a tan color. And I'm going to work this into the crease. And this is just going to lay down just a little bit of a more natural color to help with the look. It's mostly going to get covered up, but it kind of helps create that crease and where you want it to be for later on. I'm going to take this big shadow brush, and I'm going to be taking some of the black eyeshadow right here, kind of pat that in there. And you're going to focus this starting on the lid and kind of working it out. And you just want to slowly work it out into that outer part of the eye, so you're creating that flick right along the tape. And also bringing the shadow a bit up so you can create more of that smokiness. And you want to bring that up fairly high, because as you can see on the outside, it's pretty high. So just keep on bringing that color, just using the access that's on the brush. You don't need to go back when you're just trying to smoke it like this. I like to smudge it a little bit with my hand as well. So you want this kind of fading up at the top. So you can see it a lot on this side. Now we're going to go in and use this really nice silver eyeshadow. And this is just to add a little bit of a kind of like rockery kind of look to all the black and make it a little more punky. And you're going to put this right into the crease. And it's going to look super pigmented and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, it's taking me so much of the black, but this actually is where this really helps out the look to make it look a lot more interesting and also helping with the black a lot. And then go straight back to the black and start covering up areas. So it's a little bit less silver and more just kind of dark. Okay, so you want to make it as symmetrical as possible. If you feel like you've taken out too much of the silver, go ahead and go back and add a little bit more. We want most of that like intense silver to be in that inner corner area. So we can really go back and layer it up a little bit more in there. So that's where we want the most of that color. Once you're done with that, just go with a big fluffy blending brush and we're going to blend out at the top to make it a little bit more softer because it's a little harsh right now. Just a little too much. And really going back and smudging with your finger does actually help because it does take away some of that color in a really nice way. I'm going to go in and do some highlighting on my brows. As you can see, it's a little bit lighter up here. So I'm going to go into my palette and take this white color right up at the top. It's just a pure white. And just start patting it right underneath the eyebrow. And this against the black makes it a little bit more costumey, I think, making it a little bit like more kind of drag queeny feel. But this is a really great thing for Halloween, especially because on Halloween you can go a little cuckoo and a little more draggy with your makeup. You don't have to worry so much about it. So now we're pretty much done with the colors on the top of your eye. Just keep on that tape for now. And then I'm also going to go in with that same silver I used onto the inner corners of my eye to kind of brighten it up a little bit. So just go in right into that inner corner and a little bit onto the lower lash line. So it comes down a little bit. And when you're ready, you just remove the tape. Doesn't matter, and you start with the... Okay, so you can see like it creates this awesome, it's an amazing, just straight, clean line. It looks so beautiful with makeup. It's so like editorial kind of feel, but it's really, really easy to do actually once you figure out the tricks to it. But now that we've got that, we're going to start working onto the lower lash line. Before we go directly onto putting eyeshadows, I'm first going to use some eyeliner. So I'm taking this black waterproof eyeliner, I'm going to put this into my waterline. So just get that to the right amount. And just go and fill in that waterline. You want it to be really nice and dark. And go all the way into that inner tear duct. So I'm going to go and use my Revlon Liquid Eye Pen in black. And first I'm going to go into making this little kind of point in that inner corner. So all you really need to do is go to that corner and then kind of bring it down. Just do short little strokes. Then you're also going to want to go along your top lash line, because what I find sometimes is the black eyeshadow doesn't get close enough to the lashes, so I like to go along and line them a little bit. So I'm just going to do a thin line, going all the way into the inner part of my eye. And I'm working out. I'm also going to go along that line I made with the tape just a slight bit. Be really careful at this part too. Now we're going to move on to putting the eyeshadows onto the lower part of the lid, which is such a fun part. I really like this part. I think this is what really makes it that more just vampire look. So going back to the palette, I'm going to take this little angle brush, and this is a kind of broad one, so I can get a lot of color down easily. And I'm going to take this red color down at the bottom. This is a bit more of an orangey toned red, so, and it's also a little bit darker, I think a little bit closer to like a bloody color. So I think this is really great. Just get your mirror and just start about in the middle. Work your way in just a little bit and then start working outwards. So when you're just going underneath your lashes, it's pretty basic, just how you always do, you know, eyeshadow underneath there. It's when you get to the line you have to be really careful. So once you get to the line, you get super precise. Do short little strokes, getting as close to that line as you can. I want to bring it up about as high as that line goes out. If you look at the other side, I brought it about a teensy bit higher. So just go until you think it looks the same. There's a little bit of whiteness right in there, so what I did is I went back with a bit of a thinner angled brush, got some more of that color, and just went over that area again. It's working a little bit closer. I'm going to go back to that, let's see, this same fluffy crease brush, and we're going to work with a different red color, and I'm now going to be working with this red color, which is right above it, which is a little bit of a lighter red, and it's also a little bit pinkier. We're not going to really like work this right along that line, we're kind of going to use it to make it a little bit softer. So mostly working right in this area where you're leaving your eye and working up into that kind of winged look. And this is just going to add a kind of smoky softness into there. Bring it up too. And underneath the eye. But this just kind of brings the color down a little bit. So now we are pretty much done with the eyes. Now what we're going to do is put a little bit of mascara onto our lower lashes because they're kind of falling away a little bit. I think they're getting a little bit kind of just taken back by that red. So just go in there and add a little bit on. I already have some mascara on too. I'm just going to darken them up because you want to have them be a little bit thicky, a little bit spidery. So now the big fun part, we're going to add false lashes. So if you haven't put mascara on your eyes, go ahead and do a little bit now. I already had some on, and I'm going to do a little bit after I put on the false lashes. But yeah, just do a little bit before you do. So I'm using these eyelashes from Urban Decay, and these are called the Vamp lashes, which is like the perfect fitting name to use in this tutorial. As soon as I was like starting figuring out what I was going to use, I thought Vamp lashes will be perfect because they're very, they're kind of punky, and I think like this is a kind of like a punky rock, like vampire kind of look, I think. And I think these are really fun. You can just see in these lashes, they just add a little bit of these like cool like thickened effects into the eyes, and they look really cool. And they also have this thick black line, so it adds a little bit of extra like eyeliner on there too, which is nice. So I'm just going to take that out of the packaging, bend it a little bit. If you don't have these lashes, because these are like $15 I think, and you can have to like buy them offline too. Other alternatives, go to Ardell, or look at Ardell lashes, like go to Target or the drugstore, and usually Ardell lashes have a lot of stuff for Halloween right now, so find ones that kind of have more defined little lashes in there that kind of like clump together a little bit. So I'm going to put these on and then I'm going to come back. Now I've got the lashes on and I've got them comfortably down, and the glue is starting to dry, so it might seem a little bit white still, but they're on there. And just make sure that they're positioned well, they don't feel funny on your eyes or anything, and make sure everything's comfortable. If they don't feel comfortable, you could take it off and try again. Mascara I'm using also is the Rimmel Glam Eyes Day to Night, and I'm just going to take the lengthening brush and go back through the lashes and just make them a little bit more kind of thickened up. Mostly trying to just get my natural lashes. The false ones I think are synthetic hair, so don't really need anything. But yeah, this is pretty much it for the eyes. You can darken your brows if you want to. I'm just going to leave them my natural brows. I've just filled them in with a little bit with a natural brown eye pencil, but you can go ahead and do black or red or something crazy if you want to. But this is the finished eye look, and so now we'll move on to the face. So when you're picking your foundation, you want to make sure it's something that is mattifying but also is good for photos, because it is Halloween, and of course when you do something crazy like this, you want to have yourself in lots of photos because you want to have it shown off. So I'm just going to be using any old, I'm not really doing photos right now, I'm just going to put on a regular foundation. I'm just going to use my Revlon Color Stay, and I would recommend, because just also like because we've done so much of this smoking out, just focus on doing your cheeks, and then focus on the areas of redness for your foundation, and then go over everything with powder. So you don't really want to do too much of this like stuff that gets really close to the eyes, because you don't want to mess anything up. So just go ahead and do a pretty quick foundation routine. You can see I'm getting a little bit close, and then once I get closer to the makeup, I'm just going to pat it in, and this is going to help it. And I'm just going to set it with a powder. And I'm also going to say, with the whole like thing about vampires being pale, I don't think this is a look where you want to look pale. I think this is a glam kind of like, if a vampire was like a rocker chick, like this is what she would do, and she wouldn't want to be super pale. So you don't need to go like white faced or anything like that. I'm going to do a mixture of my two MAC powders. One is in medium dark and the other one is in medium plus. And I just do a mix of the two of them on this big fluffy brush from Silk Pro that I got in Canada, and just go over and lightly go over everything and just kind of dust on your powder. But make sure it's something that's mattifying, and it's gonna ensure that all of your makeup stays matte throughout your party, trick-or-treating, whatever it is that you're doing for Halloween. Just make sure it's all matted. So first I'm going to contour the face a little bit. I'm just going to be using this mineral powder brush from Sephora, and then my favorite Body Shop bronzer, and just go over and contour areas of the face. I think that for this look, you want to make it look a little bit more like she's a little bit like, not sickly, but very like defined cheekbones. So I'm using this Sonia Kashuk powder slash blush brush that I got. I'm just going to get it mostly, oh my, that's a lot of fallout, on the point of the brush. and work that over the cream, kind of like you're contouring your cheeks again. Just going over it in a line. And this creates just a nice, more contoured, slimming effect to the whole face than if you had done all this blush on the apples of the cheeks, which is going to make the face seem a lot happier. This is going to make it seem a little bit more intense. Finally, for the lip color, this is the most, well, not the most actually, I think the eye is the best part of the look, but this is pretty intense, and you want your lips to be really intense. You want to go for a really, really dark red wine kind of a color. If you don't have that, or you don't want to use a red, you can use a really, really dark pink, which is what I'm going to do. Now, I can work a little bit better with a dark pink than a dark red, and I don't really like reds all that much too, so it's a little bit more in my favor. I'm going to be using this CoverGirl Maybelline lipstick in Party Pink, which is the dark red color. I used this in a tutorial earlier on, but I think it's pretty good for this look too. So first I'm going to line my lips with my Rimmel Exaggerate Liner and Addiction. And when you're doing this, use a compact or something so you can look really, really close at what you're doing. If you're just sitting in front of a mirror far away, you're not going to get the achieved look that you need. So I'm going to go in and line my lips right inside the line. We don't need these big full lips, because I mean, it is a vampire, but we do want her to look pretty good. First, I'm going to start by using a lip brush just like this to go over the tops of my lips, because I feel like that's the place where I have the hardest time really controlling the lip, like actual bullet. So make sure everything's all good, and then start in that Cupid's bow. So once I got the lipstick down, I think it's a little bit nice to make it a little bit more shiny, depending on how you prefer. I think it's kind of cool, a little bit more shiny. And I would prefer to use a red lipstick probably on top, a red lip gloss, and go over that and make it just a little bit more red. But I'm actually going to be using this berry colored lip gloss. This is from Buxom, and this is in the color Danny. Go over a little bit. Since it's a berry tinted one too, it's going to add a little more of a dark pigment, but add a little bit of a pinkiness too. I'm patting this on instead of just rubbing it, because I want to make sure that the lipstick color isn't going to just tear off as soon as I put down this lip gloss, because I do not want that to happen. So it's just a very intense, kind of glam rock, vampy look. Very playful, very colorful, I think, too. A lot of vampire looks I see a lot are just these kind of a dark smoky gray eye or something like that, and then the dark lip, but I think this plays it up a little bit and makes it a little bit more kind of rocker-ish, which I think is a little bit more fun than just a vampire, a glam rock kind of vampire. I think this is what I'm going to call it. But I think this is a really cool look for Halloween, especially if you want to be a vampire, or even if you want to be like a glam rock chick or something. I think this would be pretty cool for a look. But yeah, you could tone down the lips too if you wanted. You could just do a lip stain instead of doing the full-on lipstick. That actually might last a bit longer on Halloween. You can do something crazy with the brows. Again, you can put on glitter liner, glitter all over your face if you wanted to, but I think this makes it pretty kind of glammy, very rocker chic, and just very cute. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time, and have an awesome day. Bye guys.